Good morning, dear friends, girls and boys. It's a true honor and privilege to be your host this morning. This is Sunil Subramanian, and I have with me Deepika, who's going to be your co-host for this session. And it's a true honor and privilege to be with you this morning and to welcome each one of you to the inaugural session of Youth Career Connect YCC 2020. I'm Sunil Subramanian, Senior Vice President Business Development at EDC CTS and the ghost of this party. Over the next 10 days, we celebrate your voice, your spirit, and your resilience to overcome the impossible. YCC is the world's first gathering of young minds at an unprecedented scale to partake in a youth movement that helps you navigate and define a new world order. While we attempt to bring opinions, expertise, and superheroes to answer the why and how to shape your careers and dreams across 35 different specializations. However, this dream is not what you're going to see in your sleep, but it's that thing which is not going to help you sleep. In the words of our beloved late President, Dr. APJ Kalam, you are among 600 million people, that's more than half of India's population under 25 years, set to change the world. And while you combine the strongest traditional values with life's goals that go far beyond convention to achieve success, get set to unmask yourself and strive towards your goals, all wearing a mask to protect yourselves in these unprecedented times. So arise, awake, hard for teenagers to awake at this unearthly hour, and achieve is the mantra across these sessions. While you get ready to take risks in your life, these risks will only bring in success. Our Make in India dream starts with each one of you. As you prepare to win and lead the world, the strength of India depends upon the strength of every youth citizen. So lose your inhibitions and surge to be strong and brave. Now, it is time for each one of you to contribute to this national effort, which is leading to a broad roadmap for productive skill development of youth in our country. No matter how much the world tries to hold you back, always continue with the belief that what you want to achieve is possible. Believing you can become successful is the most important step in actually achieving it. According to Swami Vivekananda, most of the problems of youth are due to their secret fear to face the unknown, face the complexities of life, face misery, face struggle and competition, fear to face frustration or failure. He advised youth to have strong willpower, inner strength, spirit of adventure and exploration, which would strengthen you to face challenges and bring out your hidden energy and leadership qualities, the need of the hour. So over the next 10 days, live life a little dangerously, make it an unforgettable adventure, and as you set out to explore your strengths, share your opinion and make your mark. Since there are no wrong answers or hidden agendas here, but to help you navigate your life and provide a platform that helps propel your career to success. So let me start with a story that goes behind the scenes of YCC 2020 and introduces you to the origins, the man behind this youth movement and Skillablers, India's first patented technology platform that brings together unique perspectives and a nexus between the three I's: individuals, industry, and institution. Let me welcome Mr. Ravi Kumar Radhakrishna, Chief Enabler and CEO of Skillablers, to let you in on the secrets of his youth and share his dream of making YCC India's only youth career event where the youth craft the millennial dialogue for the future of our country. I welcome Ravi to take charge and share his opinions and ideas as they unfold.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to Youth Career Connect 2020. Nice to kind of conceptualize this whole thing. I'm Ravi Kumar Radhakrishnan, CEO of Scalablers Technologies. Being a technology company, it's been a very exciting journey for us to actually script a new dimension to how youth is going to be converging with industries, the most wanted need of the hour, not just today, but also when we were youth and when we were studying, right? It took 26 years in the making for us to actually come to this historic moment to tell you that we are very close to creating a kind of a revolution where we can actually get industries and institutions along with youth or individuals coming together to make this a well-oiled engine. With that, we can confidently bring employment, employability, and also bridge the industry institution divide. So this is a very critical moment. It wouldn't have been possible without technology, and we being pioneering, doing pioneering work in technology, we are privileged to have been working on this platform for a long time now, and therefore went through the patenting process. And finally, we are here announcing to the world last year that Scalablers has arrived. And this is very important because what we all went through during our education, during our formation of our careers, what lack we had, I don't think that was ever solved in the past 25 years, right? So that being said, we took that up as a mandate upon ourselves to figure out how to try and solve a problem which is looking very simple, but so complex in its nature because we are having three different independent stakeholders involved. First being industry. Industry is huge, multiple industries. How are we going to target industries with a common agenda point? And the problem with industry is that they have to be productive. If they have to be productive, they have to have the right people. Now, when it comes to youth, for them, they lack experience. Now, like us, like you all, if we don't get the first break, how are we going to tell that we are going to be experienced? So the most important thing is to, for us, get industry aligned to the aspirations of youth, right? Now we are coming from educational institutions. They are trying their best from academic perspective. But is academic perspective just enough? Not good enough. We all know it. And how do we know it today? Because from what we went through in our lives and careers, we know very well today, after a long stint with industries and careers, we know very well there is much, much more to do beyond academics. It would be a very simple logic and analogy when you drive in by saying that, you know, any youth today or in our generation, when they are asked, what kind of work do you do? What's a typical answer, right? Today, we are not in a scenario in an auditorium where we could get into this interactive mode, where I asked this question and I would have had hundreds and thousands of hands going up saying that, you know, we are just doing a job which has been assigned to us. Why is that we are all not doing what we love to do? Why is that we are not able to get our passion in place? Why is that we don't get the opportunity in the first place? In my college group, we have a wonderful group. In that group, I get to hear comments as, you know, what we couldn't do, we should try and do today. Why? Why such a scenario? So that's where we all need to work together. That's where we all wanted to bring in the three ecosystems together. Again, the ecosystem being industries, institutions, and you, the youth. Youth is the most critical component for any nation. Today, if we talk about India, the biggest strength of the country is youth. And when that is so important, we need to treat the individual perspective in a very serious way. Now, over the past few months, we have been seeing a lot of action happening from the government level, from the corporate level, from the institutions level. And what about the youth? What is the perspective of youth? Now, if there has been jamming sessions on youth, it's still remaining in that community. Industries remaining in the industry community. There are interactions with industry and government because we need to talk about the economy. Now, where is the scenario coming in where all of them come together? That is where Skillablers has been working with, not because of this lockdown. For the past 8 years, research has been going on, and there is where we found that bringing a connection between all three together and getting each one speak on their own is probably the first major step we need to achieve. And that is where we have got that achieved now. Now it's for all three communities to start engaging with each other, discussing the topics with each other, coming together to analyze the scenario with each other. And there we had, over the past 4 months, a scenario which is unprecedented in the history of mankind. None of us in our lifetime and generations ever realized that we are going through a scenario like this, where we are unable to move out as freely as we want. And like my dear colleague Sunil was mentioning, with masks is what we are talking to people, and we don't even know how the expression is. Today, the sad part is that when we as adults used to tell our children that keep away from the mobile when you're saying hello to somebody with a mask, we are in the same state. So we all today, with the isolation in place, or rather with the distancing in place, social distancing in place, we are all in our different cabins in our offices. And here we are addressing you all, thankfully, because we didn't want the masks on, right? So we are maintaining social distancing. We are knowing what we want to do, but social distancing is not distancing of our minds. Let's bring minds together. Let's have a debate. And with a forum and a platform like this, it is amazing for us to still be connected, getting to know each other, getting to address problems with each other. And that became the origin of why we wanted to do an event called Youth Career Connect. And why we call it Youth Career Connect 2020 is because we want to make this possibly an annual event. Why? Because we want to bring in a kind of a change where the youth voice is heard at the right forum. There should be fun, there should be a lot of entertainment, but we can't lose the essence of why we all have to engage together. Why we have to engage? Industry needs to understand when they say, I don't get employable youth, from industry, we need to understand that there are certain other lacuna which comes into the system, because of which we don't get employable youth. Now you take the institution point of view. Institutions say that we don't have the privilege to have syllabus which is relevant to industry, because it takes time for us to change syllabus and bring in change. Plus, another issue with institutions is that today's youth, they are on their own. Sorry, we beg to differ, because we just need to get to communicate with each other. Why are we not communicating together? Why are we not addressing everybody's opinions together? When there is a debate, that is when we'll have solutions to our problems. First of all, do we know the problems in the first place? I think that we can proudly say over the past 8 years, we identified the problems. And that is just the start being made. An event like Youth Career Connect 2020, which from now on I'm going to be addressing as YCC 2020, requires a debate from all the stakeholders involved, right? So which means from institutions, we need to have everybody from industry involved, and we need to have you, the youth, involved in a very, very important role. Your role is to get involved to bring in a debate, and a debate of the right kind. All of us can sit at homes and complain about everything what happens in our lives, in our country, in our with our governments, all of that we can do. But what are we doing for ourselves and for our immediate family and our neighbors and our society and our country? Ask that first. Take the first step. And then we get into understanding what is the real problem, what others are facing. To make it more relevant, when we conceptualize this, it is not over years we could conceptualize an event like this. It is not 10 years, 2 years back, we got to know that something like a pandemic is going to hit us in 2020. These are things which happened over the past 4, maximum 5 months. Now imagine, by the time we got hold of the situation of the pandemic, we are here trying to figure out how to continue our debate even in the virtual world, not stopping that with restrictions and problems with interactions and with not even institutions being there to work with, where students are coming to the campuses. So this is a very important movement because the opportunities are immense. Go back in time through history, you will see every time there has been millions of opportunities which emerged during the time of challenge, right? And the most important day today for us is not just YCC 2020 has taken off, but we chose a day which is JRD Tata's birth date. Why JRD's date? Because he has been an iconic personality. He's been there right in front when the challenges then was more than a zillion times than what we have today, right? And with all those, if we could overcome the kind of scenarios and situations in his life and then still make the Tata Group what it is today, I think we owe him a lot from this country to him. And not that he has not had enough tributes and glowing respect for him. From our small little way, we thought the best way to commemorate his birth date is by launching YCC 2020, not just the event, but the movement and the revolution which should transform the way we in India we are going to show the world how the interaction between industries, institutions, and individuals, the youth, is going to make life more meaningful and society more enriched, empowered, and socially impactful. So that is the whole objective of why we even attempted to do something like this in our lifetimes, because we felt with all our collective experiences, we can make a small movement which we know will spiral into a huge kind of scenario if we all work closely together. And what do I mean by saying we all work closely together? We just need to get into a dialogue. We just need to start understanding each other's problems. We just need to hear the other person out. Then we will see that magic is going to happen. Over the past couple of months, we are very lucky, privileged, and blessed to have lots of corporates, institutions kind of align with us and say, exactly, we need to work together towards this. And thanks to the lockdown, we had people not traveling, having them engaged to talk to us in the first place. And more importantly, 9 out of 10 people we spoke to were more than happy to bring this debate on the table with youth at the fulcrum of this whole movement. I think so. Youth, from the youth perspective, the common problems which we always hear is that we don't get elders listening to us. We don't get industry listening to us. Now, if that is your problem as well, stop that complaining right now. Over the next 15 days, you're having 40 industries covered. Choose your industry, get to the people there, talk to them, figure out what is going to happen to your lives, figure out how the your careers are going to be built. Why that is important? You may be the best student in your institution, but you don't remain in the institution once you finish your studies. You need to move out of your institutions to industry. Now, at the industry level, you're a fresher, you're a starter. When you are there as a starter, if you are to make an impact and a difference, you should have gone with something more relevant than your academics into industry. Now, what is that which is more relevant? What is more relevant than academics is actually things like workplace preparation. How prepared is our youth for getting into the workplace? Zilch. So it doesn't happen over a 2-day workshop, doesn't happen over a 1-week workshop. This has to be integrated into the education system. It has to be integrated into programs. Now, that is where we are working towards. That is where institutions and industries and Skillablers as a platform is coming together, where we know the importance of bringing that connect. So youth gets empowered from the institutional level itself. Now, you have already passed out. You're already in industry. You still need to be relevant in the industry, for which you need to be always getting used to being learning continuously. Again, thanks to the past 4 months of what we have been going through, I think it's a wonderful guess for me to make that each one of us would have done at least one online course in the past 4 months. It may be a very simple thing, or a very simple thing like even just going and watching a YouTube video to learn something, which is fine. And there are others who would have gone ahead and done their certification courses. Now, this was unexpected or unimaginable last year. 2019 wouldn't have allowed us to do that. Either from industry. Why not from industry? Because it would have been more like, when we are so busy with our lives, what is there for us to further learn in our lives? And we are anyway managing our lives. When you got into the institution point of view or the youth point of view, their problem was that they too don't have time, like us, but they don't have time for various other reasons. And there was multiple reasons like this which were coming up, saying that we can't make time for our self-learning. In our perspective, we need to spend at least 10% of our time in a year towards gaining knowledge. Any interaction, any kind of knowledge, but meaningful, thoughtful, and more importantly, we should be very, very focused towards understanding that language. Today, in the world where information is all over, it is not a great challenge to get information. You just press your buttons and there you are. But that information need not necessarily be knowledge. Knowledge is something different, where you need to actually get to understand that in its entirety and get that knowledge imparted or used in what you do in your day-to-day life. And that making a change in society is what makes it useful, meaningful, and therefore brings in social impact. So there we are with a lot of aspirations, lot of, hopes and dreams what we have, and beyond our age, our youthfulness in our mind and our thinking and our thought process itself is what we could bring in YCC into being today. And more importantly, because it's from the tech standpoint, the platform through which you're all going through is why we are able to do this today. Imagine otherwise in the real world, it would have been impossible to have multitude of people coming from across various geographical regions to assemble in one place. Today, thanks to the virtual world, we are all together, despite our distances, despite the constraints we have, and we are here to get into a debate. So make full use of the time of the debate, what is there, and over the next 15 days, get empowered. There are a lot of other things which happens during this 15 days, including an amazing quiz, a fun quiz which has been organized by none other than PickBrain, the Tata Crucibles icon, and the kind of quizzes, Asia's largest quizzing company, Greycaps, is taking care of this wonderful quizzing session where we through technology are making that as well possible in the new normal. I think these are, and then there is a startup competition which is going on, and which is also amazing for the kind of responses we are getting, despite the fact that many startups are not in a position to even continue their work. Many of them we spoke to, they were very apologetic. They are not even able to continue their work because they say, we don't know. If we don't meet people, where are we going to get businesses from? So they are going through their own challenges. Despite that, we thought we should still do our best for startups. And therefore, as an associated event, we have YCC 2020 Future Stars, wherein anybody can apply, even with an idea, to get into participating in a competition, where the second level, if you get into, you're actually going to be speaking to the world like me and presenting your pitch to make it heard. And we did extend the date for the startup competition. We kept it till late evening today, so that anybody wanting to still apply, either on the ideation stage or at the early stage of your venture, or even at a growth stage, it is good for you to get an opportunity like this to apply, where you have many people listening to you and investors also listening to you, and where IIT Delhi Alumni Association has made this possible in the first place, where they are taking care of all that what needs to be done for an event like this. So this is in short about YCC 2020. And I would say, like what JRD used to say, no success or achievement in material terms is worthwhile, he used to say, unless it serves the needs or interests of the country and its people, and is achieved by fair and honest means. I think we are trying our best to do that, and welcome you all to this event. Thank you so much for all the registrations and all that what you have all gone through. And here is where we are going to kind of take it forward from all that what we have conceptualized into reality. And that is where we launch this to the world. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that wonderful insights into YCC and what drove you and what we are embarking on from a perspective of its uniqueness, as well as from the perspective of having the youth involved. As we go along the session, we are open to taking questions. So if you have any questions, please post it to us and we will curate some of those questions so that your voices are heard. And we want your voices to be heard. So please feel free to post in your questions so that we make this a session where you are the fulcrum, as Ravi rightly said, in the movement that we've just started. So Ravi, before we can move forward, I would like to ask you a question. So what is the difference that you see between your generation then and your generation now? And what makes this generation far, I would say, intelligent and far more responsive from a perspective of the current times that we are at?
Great. A good question to start off with the day. Interestingly, every youth at their time or during their time, they believe they are the most advanced as compared to the previous. Is there any doubts about that? I don't think so.
Not at all.
Right? So everybody thinks that when during our times, if we had to do what we did and what we are today, it is just because we felt we are far superior to our previous generation and our parents and all others who went before that. But I strongly believe that this is an evolution we have come through. And there is no generation which has not contributed to human mankind. Every generation has done their bit. And even today, what we talk about youth empowerment is because they have a device on their hands created by our generation. So why are we even getting into a thought process that, our generation is different from the previous generation? In fact, trust me, you're going to hear the same questions 25 years from now, when you are all going to be sitting in the places where Sunil, myself and my colleagues and all other industry veterans are sitting today. This is a debate which is ongoing. So what is more important is we have to be very mindful of ourselves and get into understanding what is that we can do together. You have gone through a scenario like this. we are going through a scenario like this. Why don't we get to understand that and make something happen? Today, let me tell you, even with Skillablers as a technology platform, which we have got patented now, please understand it is the youth we got involved to even create something like this. Otherwise, we could sit as technologists and technology veterans to actually say that, we are creating a product which is going to bring 3i Connect, individual institution industry connect. It is not reality until we get the perspective of youth. Even if you take YCC 2020, that's why we say the perspective which matters the most. But when we say that's the perspective, don't miss the point that industry standpoint is what is more important, right? The perspective with the industry standpoint, both together, coming together. Trust me, next 2-3 years, we are not going to be talking about where do I go look for my job. We are going to be talking about how do I get to choose the right one. That's going to be more critical. And when can you make that statement? When you really know there are innumerable opportunities spread right in front of you. Today, that scenario is not there. But when a technology standpoint can bring in a scenario with a common man to stand on the road and just take his own mobile device, click to find out if there is a cab near his locality and book a cab for him to travel from point A to point B, do you think getting an employer, prospective employer, to understand or rather to meet a prospective employee is going to be difficult? I don't think so. So we need to work together. We are there from technology. We are there from industry. We are there from all the institutions, all of them converging together. In fact, the kind of responses institutions have taken up to associate with YCC 2020 is overwhelming. I must say, overwhelming is the word which I would use, because now is the time everybody is wanting to discuss this. So take that opportunity, youth. Get to a scenario where we'll all get to, you won't get a better opportunity than this to talk to everybody. You would have gone to innumerable organizations to say, give me an appointment. You wouldn't have got it. Today, you are going to get it. Take that mileage, take that privilege and work towards that youth empowerment. And mind you, we have also come through the same age groups. Advancements has been in society. Advancements has been in the way we are living our lives, in our lifestyle. Advancements in our mindsets has been from time immemorial. Every mind has evolved, right? And the beauty is that now today in your generation, you're not going to figure out how a television network, how a mobile network and all is going to work in your generation. You probably are going to think about, as you go along, how are you probably going to make this interactive sessions online and real time more realistic, more engaging, right? For us today, the challenge is how to bring this into the picture, how to bring this into the forefront. How are we going to get so many thousands of people coming together? And I think we have kind of answered that problem with multiple partnerships and all of that, what we are able to do and bring in a tech standpoint to make this happen. But you're not with the tech standpoint to listen to us. You're just there with the device which has been tech enabled, right? So that's where we need to take the advantage. And I would say our times, we did what best we can. We know you all can do better. Let's do it together. That's my take, Sunil.
Thank you so much for that, Ravi. I have another question that's come up from the viewers. And one of our youth wants to know what is going to be the future scenario for jobs after the corona pandemic ends.
Oh, okay. So reality is reality. Nobody can change that. There are going to be some careers and jobs which are going to be probably struggling or very challenged, I would say. But there are going to be a lot of other new opportunities which are going to come up. Opportunities which today we sitting here also won't know what is there. That would come when it is triggered from individual minds. And who are the best minds to do that? Individuals, youth, you all. Get to put on your thinking hats. A small problem which you face, try and bring out a solution. And today, trust me, there are people to hear you out. What we are envisaging is that when we come back on August 15th, our Independence Day, to wind up this 2.5 long week session, we want to be privileged to hear your voices and tell that a few of the youth who participated, or rather a majority of the youth who participated, put up some amazing ideas onto all the comment boxes and all that what is there, or on the platform where you can put up your debating points and all of that. And we want to say we have made some difference to this world by bringing in some new ideas which is needed for today's current situation with industries and with our their regular lives itself, right? So that is where I see that, if you are going to look for the kind of jobs which is going to be coming in, keep your eyes, ears, everything open. And more importantly, today, if you get to meet somebody who is challenged from industry standpoint, when you meet, trigger an idea saying that I felt this is something we should be thinking about in this industry. You won't believe many of the ideas which has been triggered in the industries even earlier are ones which happened in some other industry, and that became a revolution in a third industry. So the point is, start getting thoughts together, start meeting people from industry. Jobs are going to be very tough as such, so knowledge is going to be very important. And if you are well empowered with the right skills, trust me, it is just not talking flowery language to get you a job anymore. You need to have stuff, and the right stuff. Nobody is telling that you need to know end all. That's not the objective. The objective is what you need to know well, but you must also be multi-skilled to understand multiple other things, and therefore start using different skills at the right time, at the right place, at the right moment.
Well said, Ravi. I think you hit the nail on the head by saying that in adversity gives birth to a large amount of ideas, a large amount of innovation, I think a large amount of skills that you would have not discovered in yourself before.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the secret of being in the worst situations, because some of the best ideas are born from the worst situations.
Yeah.
Ravi, now a little on the lighter side. I mean, this generation believes in a large amount of communication that happens on a device. As you rightly said, everything has converged itself into a 4.5-inch screen, or a little larger in some of the brands maybe. But then, how were things at your time? I mean, what was the driver for communication? I mean, you didn't have a device, you didn't have a means of finding your girlfriend using your WhatsApp. So how did it actually happen in your times?
Okay, that's an interesting twist to the whole thing. Yeah, so we too had FaceTime then. Of course, not the technology FaceTime. We had real FaceTimes. We had to see each other. We had to propose to each other. I may be the wrong person to tell that, but I can trust me on this. My generation enjoyed interacting with people. The tough ones as well used to enjoy interacting with people. That's the difference I see in today's generation. They tend to be on the devices, even and hello for them to say is difficult, right? Because they are still there. They believe their world is there, which is nice, but that's not good enough. You need to have interactions. You need to, kind of build relationships. Now, coming to a scenario in our times, if we get upset, we just go around, walk around, speak to people, or just keep silent to ourselves. Today, there is no silence. Youth get deeper into the devices, which is even worse, because the kind of stuff they check during the times their minds are disturbed are getting to be even more worse in what they get to discover. Take for example, take the kind of industry leaders, the technologists who brought in, including the continuous scroll. They all regret in their lives today. Go back and check. Those people feel that they didn't do justice to society, most of them. But it's too late. When industries take over, businesses take over, it is impossible to stop that spreading effect. What is possible is from our own self. We have to trust ourselves. We have to know what we are. We have to know how we need to live our lives. We have to know relationships are still very important. Even to get an event like this, I don't think there has been less than maybe a 70, 80 people work which went into this to make this happen. How are we going to even make this happen if we believe that our device is our world? It is not so. It is just one component of our total lives which we're living. There are scenarios which you would have been reading. Getting to devices, you are not going to get to a scenario where you can even think the right way. Get to the world, talk to people. And if we were kind of, prophesizing or kind of being very, prescriptive in our nature, trust me, we wouldn't have been able to do Skillables as a platform. We understand the scenario. We can work together on the scenario, and therefore we need to take it forward. I think that's the difference. I think we have to have more real face time.
Ravi, before I hand it over to Deepika, who's very, very keen to ask you a few more, I have one more which has come from a youth panelist. And the question that, a very intelligent question. The question asks you, we believe that we have to increase manufacturing in all sectors to combat the lack of supply and resources post-corona. They want to get your opinion and your thoughts behind the statement.
Yes, we need to just not manufacturing. Every aspect of human living is today questioned, right? Which means it is like when the IT revolution was happening. Many couldn't digest the fact that technology, IT is going to get into each one of our lives. Unlike earlier revolutions, let's take the automobile revolution. I'm going to do this in less than a minute, Sunil. Is that fine?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. So take the automobile revolution. If we had an ancillary manufacturer manufacturing tires, his only role was to look for being a supplier to the automobile industry. When IT industry started, they didn't know where to go. Unlike other industries, which I mean, not from the negative sense, from the positive sense. Anywhere you look around, you're wanting somebody to buy a computer from you, right? Forget the industries. We had people saying that I want one at home. This is unlike our televisions and refrigerators. I want to take work home. And there you had a revolution happening. Similarly, with those bulky machines, when laptops were introduced. Today, we are all on our laptops talking to each other. How did that happen? It finally went to a scenario where we all got it crunched further and we are taking it around with us. So just the hardware, would it help? Ask yourself, if you're having a car without the tires, what's the point? If you're having a computer system without the software, what is the point? Similarly, if you're having a mobile devices without your operating system, mobile operating system, what is the point? So that's why I say it's a convergence of all this put together. You need to have the software, you need to have the hardware. And is that so that we are talking manufacturing? Are we not manufacturing software? We don't use the word manufacturing, but it's still the same process-driven approach. So we all need to, kind of look for these scenarios. Just for a moment, don't think hardware, software, manufacturing, production, keep all that aside. Think of the problems which is there. Try and figure out how am I going to solve that problem. Think of the existing industries which are there, which is what the 40 industries are going to be talking about. A wonderful combination of a professional from industry, another professional from institution, another professional as a youth with around 5 years experience in industry, so that we get that youth perspective. And the fourth person from, again, the youth, who's coming from a student perspective. Now, all these four being moderated by a gentleman who is a veteran from the industry, right? And who connects with youth as well. So imagine the kind of dynamics which has gone into, or I would say in today's terms, the analytics which went into with our human brains to make something like this come together. So we have been very excited doing this. I'm only saying, let us all move this excitement into a movement to get all of us getting to solve problems rather than talking problems or talking about what others tell us is the problem.
Great. Thank you so much, Ravi. I think Deepika is very keen to ask you a question.
Please.
Yeah, over to Deepika.
Deepika, you're on mute.
Unmute.
Thank you, Sunilji. Ravi sir, it has been very interesting to what you have been telling us. And I think there is another question which is from the youth for you. They want to know, they're saying, sir, do you think that the current education system is actually outdated and it needs a change? And if
Okay.
yes, what change?
Okay. So first and foremost, that is a problem which we also were addressing even 25 years back, 30 years back, right? So
Yes.
yeah, at least in this part of the world, because in the Western world, the whole focus is about vocational skilling and therefore academics being part of it. Our part of the world, it's always been about academics. Even today, you will see parents pushing their children to kind of ask about their scores. Even today, you see their scores being compared with others' children in their ecosystem. Scores is not a bad thing, but scores is not everything. How many people in society have the best scores and they have the best lives ever? So there is no generalization at all. That doesn't mean if you don't have a great score, you're doing wonderfully well in life. The typical joke which has always been circulated. I did my PhD, therefore I am now, in the research space. Somebody else came in who didn't do that much. They are my boss. Somebody else beyond, and finally they end up in a scenario where they say the guy who actually failed is ruling the country. And that is the way they put it across. That is a joke. I don't think there's any meaning in it. Even if you talk about the administrators, even if you talk about governments, there are people, there has to be people, there will be people who know what they are doing. It is not a joke. Just try this experiment at home. When you are at home with your parents and your siblings, try for one day, all of them aligning to you for what you think and what you say. It's not easy. And if you take even a comment being spoken to you as a complaint, God forbid. That's the problem. When at home we can't manage ourselves, how do you think you can manage our immediate surrounding, an organization, a state, a country, and therefore we talk about world peace? How are we going to do all that until it starts from us? Everywhere the starting point is us. If we trust ourselves, if we believe in ourselves, if we know what we are doing, that's what we need to do. Then you will see that in a day, if otherwise we had 10 complaints to make about everything in life, including the pothole which we just jumped when we came to office, we will be talking at least one possible solution for covering that pothole at least. Right? So that's where we are, Deepika. Why don't we even think about getting somebody live on screen for them to ask a few questions?
Sure, sir. I think we do have
So Ravi and Deepika, I am signing off from this session and then logging into the next, because we have Professor Sadagopan who is going to be live in the next 15 minutes. Yes. And I would encourage all of you all to log into a very, very enlightening and a very knowledgeable session, because as you know, Professor Sadagopan is the father of IT. Yes. And what better to hear and who better to hear this morning as part of YCC 2020.
Correct. Thank you so much.
Logging off. Bye.
Yeah, we will finish this in the next few minutes, and we'll all be there to join the other session as well, to view.
See you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, Deepika, go ahead, please.
So Ravi sir, there is a youth candidate available here right now, and she has a question for you. Yeah. So I'll call her name. Meru, if you can just come on the video and ask Ravi sir the question you have.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Meru.
Good morning. Well, I also came across, first of all, I would like to say that I came across this event through social media, and the eye-catching factor that I felt about the event was that it covered a broad spectrum of industries. And I'm basically an arts student. I am doing my BA honors in Japanese from Jawaharlal Nehru University, Delhi. So when I saw this event, I really felt that like there are millions of webinars happening around us. We cannot tune them out. And most of them are from technological backgrounds. And it's usually, we are kind of, we are disregarded in this in Indian scenario. So that is what attracted me to this event. And well, also I have a suggestion that we need a language sector also from next time, if possible. Okay, my question would be like, it is similar to the prior question asked from the viewers. I would really like to know your suggestions on what changes in the education system can be made that can actually be implicated.
Absolutely. Good, great. And first and foremost, Meru, nice to get your suggestion on languages. Yes, we need to bring in a language session. And I know how it comes because of your Japanese background, right?
Right.
Great. So point well taken. And to get to answer your question, yes, not from changes point of view, because that is something which is going to be very difficult, because these are institutions, industries, all of them, which has evolved over many years. But the changes can happen more in terms of some modifications, some new alignments which can come in. And that alignments should come in from multiple stakeholders. Now, that is where I think we can, with at least the kind of responses and all that what we have gone through, the possibility of the 3i Connect is working, honestly, because over the past couple of years, we have found that we are able to get industry understand the problems in institutions. And we are able to get institutions understand the importance of employability in industries. And therefore, because when you talk about people like you as youth, you need to know, the biggest understanding what all of us should have is that we don't need to be prescriptive. And 9 out of 10 parenting as well fails because we become prescriptive, right? So if we stop being prescriptive, if we start getting into a scenario where we start just providing you the path, which means today, if I need information, nobody needs to tell you to go to the British Library or the local college library to go get information. You are just going to pick up your device and go Googling. Now, which means the system was brought in a way where you got a method to go and search for information. Similarly, something like this will happen when the path is shown, and therefore you get to follow that path. And the people who take the path, be assured you will never get to the road less traveled. That's been a road well traveled. Therefore, we go back and lay a path and come down, right? So I think that's what we need to do. Just look around, bring in your suggestions, be open, and thankfully, today's generation like you, Meru, no problems in expressing your views. You're all very bold. In fact, today, when I stand right in front of this audience and speak, or rather when I sit and speak, just because during college, we were bold enough to stand on stages and speak. Otherwise, even when we had our Silver Jubilee celebrations, we found that all of us who made that happen, we all had to jam up together to make even something like that happen after 25 years. So, but in your generation, I think predominantly everybody is already involved, thanks to the kind of social media impact, thanks to the kind of information you all push out and then want the world to see, right? Thanks for your question, Meru, and welcome. Enjoy your stay with us over the past 15 days through the seminars. And we are sure that you will also be as empowered as we are by the time we end this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ravi sir, for your answer. And I'm sure, Meru, you are convinced on what Ravi sir had to convey.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you very much for your question. I have another question in line from a viewer. Her name is Sahana. Sahana, all yours. You can ask the question to Ravi sir.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm good. Actually, even I'm working and pretty much I know how the industry works. And even I have come through a lot of problem as a student when I got into my first job. And even actually I didn't have all these events to go through and get to know how students go through that problem in choosing the career. And
Okay.
I have learned a lot through that. And even now I'm learning a lot. And I hope through this event I learn more and get empowered.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Sahana. And as you rightly said, learning is a continuous process. It never ends.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what we need to do. Even at this age, we all need to do our own learnings. And probably as we go along in our life, certifications may not be important, but the learnings and the what learnings we implement in our day-to-day life and in our careers is more important than anything else. I think that's where we are. I think Deepika, it's time for us to also get
Yes.
involved with Professor
Thank you, Ravi sir,
Sahana's
for your
session.
answer. I'm sure Sahana is convinced to what advice you've given her and your opinion about whatever she had asked. So we wind up here, and I request all of the viewers present here to join into our next room with the professor, where where you're going to really learn something new. So thank you very much, Ravi sir, and all the
Thank
viewers.
you. Thank you so
Let's
much.
log
And
into the next session. Thank
thank
you.
you
Have
so
a good
much. And
day.
all of you have a great sessions here. Giving your feedbacks. This is the first time ever anything like this has been tried out. Let's all learn together. Let's all experiment together, and let's all make it more useful and empowering as we go ahead. Thank you so much.